The Jamiroquai name came from the Iroquois Indians. I just found it an interesting word. I've misspelt it. It wasn't meant to be a copied thing, I didn't want to be a petty Indian. And it kind of, reflected the look. I think it's definitely the live thing, because we've tried to go in and do it live. And I think with a lot of people doing stuff to tapes, do you know what I mean, and not doing live things, I think people appreciate the fact that aspect's definitely coming in, because I think it's always been there in indie music, but the sort of music we're doing, it hasn't always been there, and I think that's contributed to it.
Legendary UK acid jazz band Jamiroquai, a standout band of the funk and acid jazz movement of the 1990s, was one of the few groups from that genre to reach mainstream pop success, becoming the third best-selling UK act behind pop sensations such as Spice Girls and Oasis. Frontman Jason Lewis Cheetham, otherwise known as JK, grew up with his mother, who was a former cabaret singer and television personality, and his father, a Portuguese guitarist. Interested in following in their footsteps, Kay began sending demo songs to record companies, eventually signing with Gillis Peterson's Acid Jazz Records in 1991.
I remember when I first came out, people said, "Jimmy, what? Nobody's going to be able to say that. Can they come up with something else?" I was like, no. The best song I've ever written, in terms of how ahead of its time, I think it was. What it's about is virtual insanity.
Kicking down the door in late 1992 with the demonstrative debut single, When You Gonna Learn, Jamiroquai was instantly impossible to categorize or quantify. 1993's debut LP, Emergency on Planet Earth, was an anachronism in the culture, a vibrant fusion funk drawing on obvious influences like Stevie Wonder and more obscure inspirations such as Gil Scott-Heron. Jamiroquai was born of the acid jazz, acid house revolution. They uncorked marathon sessions that fit right into English dance music culture and built up a dedicated vocal following. Jamiroquai's sonic styles and funky aesthetics have found their way into pop music, modern funk, electronic, and even informed jam band trends too. The b-boy band leader JK recruited young bassist extraordinaire Stuart Sender to join founder keyboardist Toby Smith, and the three would synchronize as the foundation for the group's finest era and offerings. The crystallized versions of Hooked Up and Too Young to Die show an unprecedented range and attack as JK made his presence felt and heard with frenzied displays of vocal gymnastics to match the band's machine gun funk workouts. Virtual Insanity, from 1996, widely popular, Traveling Without Moving, saw the band achieve multi-platinum sales and international acclaim for their groundbreaking single and accompanying music video. So what's the process like in recording new music for Jamiroquai?
You can't polish a turd, if it's not gelling within the first, you can keep beating it into shape and add more things to it. It's a bit like cooking soup, and if you have chicken, noodles, some onion, some stock, it's fine. Then you start adding more things into it and then you spoil the taste. And it's the same with writing the music. So I think we managed to keep a balance, but by just taking the tunes that we really thought were going to be good. But then, of course, our problem was we had more tracks than we could put on the album.
Was there pressure in the beginning of your career, Jay?
The first single, Too Young to Die, and that was real pressure because the days of people having 3 album development deals, like when not in the 80s and stuff, oh, don't worry, your first album did right, your second album did, don't worry, have another go. That had all gone out the window. We'd literally got down to 2 singles and you're out, mate. So it had to be a top 20 thing. You know, effectively the chorus had no lyrics. You know, it was like, hello. And it was a high gamble thing, you know, and I sat in the studio for hours, and then I was arguing with the sort of, you know, co-producers, arguing, you know, the voices were like, well, what do you want? So I'll never forget, what the hell do you want then? I should have done I just want you to push that mid up a bit.
Push that mid up a bit. Yeah, I know it, Jay. Jamiroquai's subsequent albums have explored other musical directions, such as pop, rock, disco, and even electronica. With that being said, you've been watching Retro Acid Soul with Jamiroquai. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. And I'll catch you on the next one.